Hey, just popping in for a quick video today. I recently released a brief recap of the Update 39 changes that are in store for the Elder Scrolls Online, specifically the changes that pertain to new features and quality of life updates. I didn't get a chance to cover every single topic as I didn't want the video to drag on for ages, so I actually even ended up cutting out some of the segments of voice recording that I had to trim the video a bit. One segment that got cut out concerned the upcoming changes to the Seals of Endeavor system. Upon reading the patch notes, my impression was that there would simply be new ways to earn Seals of Endeavor. End of story. I wrote just a few lines about it in my script and figured it's no biggie if I omitted them from the video. Then I started to get a bunch of comments on my video from players that were surprised to see that I hadn't mentioned these changes, or that I had forgotten to. I initially shrugged these comments off as the usual kind of you forgot to say comments that most creators get on their videos, but after the same sentiment started to pop up again and again and again in the comments, I realized, no, something was definitely up. Then some people started leaving comments about how disappointed they were with the changes to the Endeavor system, and I was like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Upon chatting with some gamers in the comments and taking a closer look at the new endeavors on the PTS, I started to see exactly where everyone was coming from. From what I've observed so far, it appears as if many of the new endeavor types promote group content, as well as content that requires DLC, such as defeating a DLC world event like a dragon or a hero storm, or completing a DLC dungeon like Scalecaller Peak. My understanding is that players are unsatisfied with these changes because they do not provide an overall quality of life improvement. Rather than providing new and additional avenues to earn Seals of Endeavor, these group-oriented and DLC-related endeavors appear to take the place of more accessible endeavors, such as harvesting some materials or defeating a public dungeon boss, any public dungeon boss. Some gamers in my Discord server even whipped up a couple of memes about this change, so I have some thoughts. I too was under the impression that we would be receiving more ways to earn Seals of Endeavor, in the sense that we would be able to complete more daily endeavors than before, and perhaps even different kinds of endeavors. So I was a bit bummed to find out that this was not the case. A lot of players are panicking when they pull up the PTS endeavors and see that they all pertain to running DLC dungeons, completing DLC world events, or doing group content. I don't think that this assortment of activities is going to be indicative of what we will see on the live server. This is not what it's going to look like when you pull up the Endeavors tab in Update 39. They're not all going to be about running DLC dungeons and trials and world events every single day for the rest of eternity. At least I hope. They're likely just testing all of these new endeavors, so these images that you may see circulating around social media are likely not an indication of what all endeavors are going to look like going forward. I believe that simple endeavors such as harvesting materials or defeating some enemies or casting your ultimate 10 times or whatever are still going to exist. They're just not on the PTS because it's the new endeavor types that need to be tested after all, not the old ones that we all know work fine. That being said, these new endeavor types will be options on the live server eventually, and there's definitely something to be said about the nature of these new objectives. Not everyone is going to be able to complete these new endeavor types, for one reason or another. Some players may lack the skill required to be able to complete a trial, for example. Others have also shared that because of their disabilities, completing a trial is simply not an option for them. Others may have the skills necessary to complete a trial, but they may not be in a community that will run that trial, and some may not even have the DLC that contains the trial. These limiting factors are what are causing the community to express their disdain for these new changes. On one hand, I can see where the developers may be coming from when they pitch these changes. Encouraging players to check out dungeons could potentially improve queue times for the relevant dungeons, much like how Undaunted pledges do. Encouraging players to check out world events could make them that much more lively and feasible to defeat. I know that anytime I pass by a dragon or a hero storm outside of a zone event, there's hardly anyone attacking them. And I think that encouraging group activities is always a wonderful thing, as I believe that participating in the greater ESO community will significantly improve your time spent in ESO, not to mention open up possibilities for part of the game that you've yet to experience, like raiding or group PvP. But that's the thing, these should be encouragements and not enforcements. And to be fair, you don't have to complete endeavors, of course. but those that do wish to should not be hindered or held back by factors such as not owning a purchasable DLC. Ultimately, I believe that these new Endeavor types should provide additional ways to earn Seals of Endeavor, and not take the place of an older, more easily accessible objective. How nice would it be if they were instead bonus opportunities to earn even more seals than you normally could if you happen to, say, own the relevant DLC? That way, these endeavors do not take opportunities away from those that do not. That, to me, would be a pretty nice update to the Endeavor system. But what do you think about these proposed changes and updates to the Seals of Endeavor system? Now, this is where I'm supposed to say the obligatory "leave your comments below" engagement bait bit, but quite honestly, you should leave your comments on the ESO forums so that the ESO developers can see them. But that's all for now. Sorry I didn't get a chance to talk about this sooner in my original recap video. Thank you all for watching, thank you to my YouTube members for their additional support, and I will see you gamers in the next video. Cheers.